Hey everybody, Steve Przebrowski here. I just got back from a great week in Emmitsburg, Maryland at the National Fire Academy. Now, you may think, what does this have to do with me? I'm just a firefighter, or I have no desire to promote, or maybe I just give a shit about the National Fire Academy or something like that. Well, the reason I say that is for a number of reasons. The National Fire Academy is a great institution, and if you've never been, you owe it to yourself and your fire service history just to go once, just once. A lot of people think, well, I'm not a chief or whatever. Well, you know what? The National Fire Academy is offering classes for all ranks, firefighters all the way up to chiefs. Now, I was fortunate to be one of the two co-instructors or facilitators, as we call them, of the training program management class. There's many classes. And if you haven't looked at the catalog there, you'll see there's classes for all ranks of personnel, like I mentioned. I mean, there's executive chief officer program. There's the executive chief officer program. There's a managing officer program. There's specialty classes, like I just touched on what I just was fortunate to present, the training program management class. There's lots of training classes. There's safety related classes, hazmat related classes, fire investigation classes, community risk reduction classes, public education, fire prevention, leadership. I mean, there's something pretty much almost for everyone in the fire service. They're free. A lot of people don't realize that. They're free. I mean, they're paid for, I guess, by, not, I guess, they're paid for by the federal government, thanks to all the hard work that a lot of people have put into pushing for obtaining and maintaining that funding throughout the years. So the National Fire Academy, if you haven't been, will cover your flight costs out there. And the only cost you pretty much have, they'll also provide you lodging. I mean, it's not Ritz-Carlton five-star lodging, but hey, it's comfortable lodging. There's a pub on campus. There's the Ott House just about a mile away, which is perfect 10-minute walking distance, if even that. Great location. Now, the National Fire Academy, like I mentioned, is free. The only cost is the meal ticket when you're there for classes. And the classes range from like 2-day classes over the weekend, or there's 6-day classes, 10-day classes. The meal ticket is a couple $100, but there's a cafeteria there with food, basically lunch, dinner, breakfast. Not exactly in that order, I guess, because it should be breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Food's gotten better over the years. I'm not going to say I'm necessarily 100% fan of the food, but that's a different story there. There's, you won't starve. There's also other places, like I mentioned, locally, the Ott House downtown. Gettysburg is about 15-minute drive away. There's other stuff around the area, but that's not it. The main point of the National Fire Academy is, number one, there's so much history in that area. Like I said, Gettysburg is 15 minutes away. I mean, what else do you need more to say there? Location, about an hour and a half, give or take, from Baltimore Airport. The two Washington, D.C. airports, about 2.5 hours from Philadelphia Airport, about 45 minutes from the Harrisburg Airport. A lot of people on the West Coast, I know throughout the years, have always told me, it's like, God, that's so far away. It is. But you know what? It's worth it to go at least once. I mean, some people have gone once and realized, you know what? It ain't for me. Whatever. Cool. Bitching. Others have gone, shit, I wish I would have gone here a long time ago. Like me, it took me about, I think, 14, 15 years into my fire service career before I got there for the first time. And I was like, wow, this is so great. I mean, yeah, the classes are good. You got some great instructors, you've got some good curriculum, you've got some great discussions, but it's the people you get to network with, build relationships with, from all around the country and even other countries. I mean, in our class, we had 20 students from around the country, including a chief from Guam, listening to some of his stories where it never gets colder than 70 degrees in Guam. And here we were like at 30 degrees in December. And he was like, woo, this ain't Guam. And no, you're not in Kansas anymore, kid. But all kidding aside, I just encourage you to check out the National Fire Academy. I'm not getting paid to endorse it or anything else. I just believe in it. And I think it's something everybody should do, just like I said, because there's so much good things that can come out of it. Obviously, there's lots of other great training educational opportunities outside of the National Fire Academy, but there's my plug that I think is beneficial. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. If you've been, go there again. If you are mentoring somebody, well, all of us should always be mentoring somebody, whether we're a firefighter, captain, chief officer, fire chief. We should always be mentoring others, not just one person, but others, sharing along our knowledge, sharing ideas, suggestions, resources. And this is one resource. I encourage you to tap someone on the shoulder and say, hey, you know what, I think you should at least consider this. When I was a acting battalion chief captain, that was my first time to go, and that was for the executive fire officer program for 4 years. And I remember my chief at the time would not give me time off, so I had to take basically trades or use vacation time. And for 2 weeks, it was tough, but it was time and money well spent. So again, do what you got to do, but if anything else, I encourage you to at least check it out, go, and hopefully you'll get some value out of it, if nothing else, from the students, the instructors, and just the experience. So, all right, everybody, take care, be well, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My website, code3firetraining.com. That's code3firetraining.com. My contact information is on there. My YouTube channel has lots of other videos, lots of resources on code3firetraining.com. But until the next time, Steve Brzezinski saying happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever it is you celebrate, and look forward to hopefully chatting with you soon or running into you at some point around the country. Take care, everybody.